Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to solve the problem which I gave you in the last class. So the problem that I asked was FTIR shows two bands, wave number centimeter inverse versus intensity percentage transmittance. A band that appears at 3200 to 3000 centimeter inverse, a broad band, and a band at 1700 centimeter inverse. And SEM shows a rod like morphology and a spherical morphology mixed. And then the excitation absorption spectrum, lambda in nanometer versus intensity in counts, shows two peaks, A and B, but the intensity of A is greater than B. Right? And I asked you the inference, and also the main problem. I want only the spherical nanoparticles to be separated from the mixture. The mixture contain both spherical as well as rod-like. This is what the question. Now let us solve this problem. So inference you can give later. First, let us solve the problem. The question whatever asked was how to separate the nanoparticle from spherical to rod. We know that there are spherical and the rod-like, and just try to correlate the result with this SEM. See, there is a rod-like morphology and spherical morphology. You are getting the P band at A and band at B. There are two peaks you are getting absorption. So you know that when the light passes through the rod-like material nanoparticle, it travels through this way or this way. When it travels through the longitudinal axis, then it will be losing more energy, right? It will be losing more energy. When it is losing more energy, finally the emission whatever we get will be having very less energy. It means the peak will come at longer wavelength. So the B is representing the longitudinal relaxation, longitudinal transfer of energy, the photons. And the A is for the cross section. Right now, see, A intensity is greater than B. It means the number of rods, the ratio between rod and spherical, it shows, right? So if the intensity of A is high, it means the cross section, I mean the energy that is passing through transverse due to the transverse relaxation is going to be more, right? It means the spherical nanoparticles are more comparatively. So A intensity is more. A is the band A is at shorter wavelength. It means only less amount of energy loss. It is because of the transverse through the transverse the energy transfer is, right? So the spherical nanoparticles are more in the overall mixture, that we can conclude. Now coming to FTIR will help us to come out with what kind of terminology what kind of technology we can use to separate the nanoparticle. We know that conventionally we can go for centrifugation technique or filtration technique to separate off particle according to the shape, right? And apart from that, we can go for size exclusion chromatography, otherwise called as gel permeation chromatography. There will be pores with the different sizes. Through the pores, if the nanoparticles are entering, it will take longer time to cross the stationary phase. The bigger particles will come out first, so that we can separate the bigger and the smaller nanoparticles at different elution time. But here the rod-like and the spherical both are present. We need to separate the rod from the spherical. It means spherical from the rod. It means through the size based separation it will be difficult because it has two different shapes. right? So if it is similar shape and different size, then it is possible through size exclusion chromatography, right? If it is having different structure, different shape, then it will be difficult through the size exclusion chromatography. Suppose in the case of size exclusion chromatography, there is a stationary phase and there will be packed particles. Now see, the spherical particle, if it enters in any dimension, any direction, it will behave spherical only. It will have a similar diameter only. But a rod like structure, if you see this direction, the dimension, the diameter is like a spherical nanoparticle. It will behave as a spherical nanoparticle. If it enters this way, then it cannot enter into the pores, so it will come out first, right? If it is entering along the axis, then it can enter as like a spherical nanoparticle, then both spherical and the rod like nanoparticle will be coming out altogether. So separation will become difficult here. To overcome this, what we can do, we can go for some other technique. To identify the technique, you can utilize this FTIR spectroscopy, in which there are two bands present. So one of the band is at 3200 to 3000 centimeter inverse, and FTIR the infrared absorption happens due to the vibrational transition. There are three transition: rotational, vibrational, electronic. The vibrational transition, when it happens, it absorbs IR radiation, right? So especially the functional groups will undergo the vibrational transitions, because when the IR pass through a molecule, the molecule will have only functional group on the surface. Only the functional group will be exposing out. That's why the functional groups will undergo vibrational stretching or vibrational bending at under infrared radiation, right? Now you have two bands, one at 3200 and another at 1700. So from this we can come to know that there is a amide linkage present, or there is a carbonyl group present. That 1700 centimeter in the source, there is a carbonyl group present, right? So the 3200 3000 centimeter inverse shows there is already I mentioned that it is a broad band, so there may be moisture present, otherwise there is a OH stretch, right? OH stretch. Consider it is acid, carboxylic acid. So considering this 3200 centimeters for OH stretching and 1700 centimeters for carbonyl stretching, then there is a carboxylic acid functional group on the surface, right? Now if there is a carboxylic acid functional group, comparatively, if you compare rod and spherical will have less surface area than the rod. I mean available area. I am talking about the available area. So available area, there will be more number of atoms that will be exposing in the case of rod. It is elongated spherical, right? Elongated spherical, so that more number of active atoms will be present, more number of active functionality will be present on the surface. Now there will be COH and there will be COH. Now you can just take a technique, maybe a liquid chromatography technique, in which there will be liquid mobile phase. So liquid mobile phase, and there will be a stationary phase. Now you can modify the stationary phase functionality. So if the stationary phase is hydrophilic for example, and here there is a COH group, it is also hydrophilic. Now hydrophilic interaction will be more, then the elution will be delayed. Clear? Now suppose both the nanoparticles are introduced into this in the liquid medium, it is traveling across the stationary phase. As the stationary phase is hydrophilic, it will be interacting more with the nanoparticle which has more hydrophilic sites, which has more hydrophilic sites than nanorods. So then the nanorods will be staying very longer time in the stationary phase than the spherical one. So spherical one can come out very easily before the rod comparatively. So the spherical one will come out first and followed by the rod. So this is how we can separate, right? So it is all about the interaction between the stationary phase and the material whatever we are separating, right? See, already I told you this question may have multiple answers. Very importantly, the answer should have some basic logic. That's all, right? If you can able to answer this question with logic, surely you will get full marks, right? So this is how you can design your experiment. Apart from this, if you think how can we separate, or So you can also interpret like 1700, so carbonyl group, 3000 to 3000, so there is a moisture content. If there is a moisture content, see moisture also contain OH, right? That OH stretch will be more so that it will be broad, right? So if we conclude that, if we infer that there is a more moisture content due to that the broad band is received, then you can conclude that the surface of nanoparticle is hydrophilic in nature, because there is moisture present, right? Hydrophilic in nature. So accordingly you can design the stationary phase, right? If it is hydrophilic stationary phase can be used so that the interaction between the stationary phase and the nanoparticle will be increased, the elution time will be delayed, right? This is how we can design the experiment. Finally, coming to the inference. The inference, we can say the nanoparticle whatever we synthesize are having mixed shapes, rod and spherical. As the UV is showing two bands, it confirms that there is a longitudinal relaxation as well as transverse relaxation. I mean, through longitudinally the energy is transferred, through the across the axis there is a energy transfer. So due to that there are two bands. Now as A is greater than B, it means the shorter wavelength is greater than the longer wavelength. The spherical type of nanoparticles are more. Right? Now the spherical type nanoparticle need to be separated first from the rod. There are conventional methods available, but we can make use of the FTIR data to design the experiment. Right? And FTIR shows there are two bands, one at 3200, another one at 1700. The band at 1700 represents a carbonyl group and 3200 represents OH stretching. So either it can be a carboxyl based terminal that is present on the surface of nanoparticle, or else there are moisture along with the carbonyl links present. So carbonyl is confound, so it can be amide or it can be ester or anything, right? These are the inferences, and question is first answered and the inference is also given now, right? And now if you think about some other method, suppose, okay, if you have concluded that this contains carboxylic acid, nothing wrong, yes, carboxylic, because there is evidence, so based upon the evidence we can conclude that it has carboxylic acid, right? So the carboxylic acid is the terminal group in the nanoparticle, then it is pH sensitive, right? As it is pH sensitive, it can alter the pH of the separating medium. If it is a chromatography, column chromatography, the pH of the column can be altered. So when the pH of the column is altered, the COO minus carboxylate group, carboxylate molecule produced on the terminal will be interacting differently with the stationary phase. So by using that interaction, you can separate the nanoparticle according to the shape and the sizes, right? This is how you can do. Right? If you don't understand, please ask me again. I'm ready to explain n number of times. This is how you can solve the problem. Thank you.